Coming to you in high definition, this is Fox at 5.
The Minnesota nurses have a decision to make that's almost Shakespearean in weight: to strike or not to strike. Thousands of caregivers are casting their votes on two proposals. If the majority vote no, it would mean the largest nurses strike in U.S. history.
And Fox 9's Tim Blotz has the very latest from St. Paul with what it would mean for patients if there is a strike.
I think that they're saying they're together in this.
They all nurse at 6 different hospital groups, but today they believe they're voting as one.
This is about patients. This isn't about anything else but the reason why we went into nursing in the first place.
There are 2 questions on the ballot. The first asks whether to approve the contract offers from the individual hospitals, and the second asks whether to accept cuts to their pensions. Union leaders are asking for nurses to vote no on each one. The hospital spokeswoman says the deal is a fair offer.
The hospitals are asking for some flexibility and some changes to the benefits, but they're still going to be well compensated, and there's still a pay raise in this contract.
But much of what the nurses are concerned about is creating more nursing coverage for patients. Cindy Olson has been a nurse for 32 years.
It's all where you put your money. You can't build big fancy waiting rooms and fancy departments until you put some of that in the bedside, because that's where it's important. That's what changes outcomes.
The hospitals say there's no proof.
There is no research that says that staffing is the answer to having the best patient quality care.
What both sides say they really want is a return to the bargaining table.
The hope is that this would show the hospitals the nurses are serious and ready to get to the table and get a deal done.
The union needs at least a 66% no vote to move towards a strike. They have less than 5 hours to find out the results.
Thank you.
Bye. Hi, Tom. Eileen just left for a moment.
And we're here live inside the St. Paul River Center, where the nurses are streaming in at a rate of about 600 an hour right now. So far, as of this moment, about 6,000 nurses have already voted. That's about half. They have until 10 o'clock tonight to cast their vote. If they vote in favor of this strike, it sets in wheels now a 10-day cooling off period at which both sides would have a chance to come back to the bargaining table. But as you can see behind me, they've got a lot of votes here yet to count here tonight. Again, we should know the results at about 10 o'clock, maybe 10:15. Fox 9's Leah Bino will be here all night long monitoring it, and we'll have a live report for you coming up tonight on Fox at 10 with results. In St. Paul, I'm Tim Blotz, Fox 9 News.
Labor disputes between hospitals and their nurses aren't new in Minnesota. In 2001, about 1,350 nurses walked off the job at 2 Fairview hospitals. And in 1984, the largest RN strike in the nation's history, when thousands of nurses, 6,000 to be exact, didn't go to work for 5 weeks.
Coming to you in high definition, this is Fox at 10.
Thousands of Twin Cities nurses casting their ballots. We are live in St. Paul awaiting the outcome of their strike vote. They've been voting since 6 o'clock this morning on a contract offer they say they're not happy with.
If the nurses at 14 Twin Cities hospitals vote to walk off the job, it would mean the largest nurses strike in U.S. history. And right now, they're about to hear the results. So first at 10, we're going to go to Fox 9's Leah Bino. She's live in St. Paul. Leah, we're hoping you have an answer for us. Noisy place all of a sudden down there.
Yes, we do. The voting just wrapped up at 10 o'clock, and they were voting right up until the last minute. Union leaders are announcing the results as I speak. It's official. They have rejected the hospital's contracts, and they're going to move forward with a strike, as they have said they have chosen to do. Throughout the day, more than 9,000 nurses of the 12,000 total members voted right up until the last minute. 90% rejected the pension cuts and 90% rejected labor cuts. They're calling the results overwhelming. Here's what both sides of the bargaining table had to say.
We're united. There's 12,000 of us. We don't all work for the same hospital, but we are sticking together.
The hospitals are disappointed that the union has been emphasizing a no vote, and more so that the union has been emphasizing a strike when the hospitals see no need for a strike, that we can continue in negotiations and settle the contract.
You can see there has been a lot of anticipation for this result tonight. They're here celebrating, although no one really wants to go to a strike, but they are glad to have the ball in their court. We'll have more on the next step for them coming up in just a few minutes. Live in St. Paul, Leah Bino, Fox 9 News.
Now we'll see what happens.